go back to the topic of like this current Boruto arc, which is what I've been talking, which I mean, Oodie and Kamui have been asking my thoughts on. One thing that I find completely pointless is the fact that Boruto's Flying Thunder Guard isn't actually the Flying Thunder Guard. It's actually this entirely new jutsu, which I feel like, okay, if it's something different, name it something different. Not name it.
Wait, it's actually different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
They specifically clarify that it is. They achieve the same effect, but they go about it different ways.
Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that. It feels as if, okay, this is what I don't like about Naruto. It never delves deep into actually how jutsus are created and where people learn them. That's what pisses me off sometimes about Naruto. Because I want to know okay, if you're gonna give Boruto the flying Raijin, right? Even though I think Naruto should have got it, right? With delusionalism in my head right now, thinking that.
Yeah.
At least tell me. Yeah. At least tell me how. At least give me like, okay, so maybe they found it out in a scroll, or Koshin Koji had found out and they recreated it into the actual thing. I don't want it to be like some unique thing for Boruto, because then it deludes what Minato's actual flying Raijin. That's literally what it does. And then if Boruto manages to improve the flying Raijin quotation mark.
It's actually worse. Minato's is they just basically say Minato is better.
No. That's not what I mean. I mean, if Boruto manages to get better than Minato, it will just delude Minato's actual jutsu. Minato. So that's what I don't like about it. And then it's like Boruto special as well. Just say Boruto doesn't have to create his own jutsu to be special. That's the thing.
Well, okay. About that though, like hypothetically though, if Boruto just learned the right, well, for example, does Minato being better at flying Raijin diminish the fact that Tobirama made the jutsu? No, it's just the next generation improving upon it. So if Boruto could just do the same to Minato, I don't think that affects anything, personally. And in this case, they're just actively saying, first of all, they explain how Boruto learned it, but they're still saying, yeah, you're just not, like, Minato's is better.
Well, it's more like a different Boruto learned it, and they basically gave this Boruto all the notes that a different timeline's Boruto.
Yeah, like how Boruto figured out in the future, he gets it now, blah, blah, blah. But they're still saying Minato's is better.
But eventually it won't. That's the thing. You know how the series works. That's the annoying part.
Yeah, but I'd say the biggest issue I have with this is that more casual audience, I think, will be a bit like confused. Like, wait, isn't this Minato's thing? And like, wait, it's not. It's like you should have just done it as the Flying Thunder Guard and just leave it at that, not make it anything more complicated. And just like, or at least if you wanted to make it the same jutsu and added these new stuff, say that's a more improved version over Minato's, because then it's like works the whole new generation surpassing the old thing at least. You could have done that, but yeah. But unfortunately, no, they just did this complicated thing.
Look, I'll say this. If Boruto can do the flying Raijin better than Minato, fine. But the flying Raijin, not the actual a new version, and it's way better than Minato's. Or like something like the flying Raijin. That's just silly in my opinion. And then if Boruto gets better than Minato with it, then Minato with a similar jutsu.
Or if you're going to do like a new Uitsi teleportation jutsu, don't call it the same jutsu as Minato.
Yes, definitely. That as well.
Hello. I'm here to discuss because there are so many things I don't understand.
Minato. Minato.
Wait, real quick. Let's start with the Minato flying Raijin point.
Why do you think? Why do you think Boruto's makes more sense? Let's go.
Boruto, FTG. Okay.
Are you French?
You said Minato's flying Raijin is illogical and Boruto's is logical. Can you explain?
Because they can explain the weakness of Boruto. Flying Raijin, but in Minato, they don't show any weakness. Didn't Itachi said that every jutsu has a weakness?
Swear, you French fans, bro. You don't know anything about
Naruto.
Anyways, anyway, you're not French. I thought you were French. Accent.
Yeah, they do. There is a glaring.
No, they didn't. In Minato, they didn't show anything. They said
yes,
that Minato
they did.
is perfect.
Yeah, they explained. They clearly explain the huge weakness in Minato's technique is he has to visit a location first and place down a mark. If there is no mark there, he cannot use it.
It's the same thing with Boruto.
The only
not
difference is
illogical,
that
that's
Boruto has
technique,
more
that's not illogical.
weaknesses.
That's illogical. That's a weakness. That's not illogical. That's just a weakness. Illogical is that it doesn't make sense. That makes sense that it has a weakness where you have to place a marker down.
Yeah, so like Minato's does have a weakness. Like I said, the difference is just that Boruto's has more weaknesses.
Yes,
that's all.
Exactly.
But
That's
Minato,
not...
he didn't show what are the weakness for his fly washing.
We did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. For example, when Obito became Turkey, the marker went away, and because there's no marker there, he couldn't fly Raijin to him.
Yes, exactly.
But it's the same thing with Boruto. He doesn't know no tool in somewhere. He cannot teleport. It's the same thing. When you see the table comparison, of Minato and Boruto, you see the description. In Boruto case, they describe more better the weakness and what Boruto can do with his fly washing god. But if you know Minato, he just a simple sentence like, oh, he can teleport anywhere else. Or he can put all together.
So
he
Jonathan,
has no weakness. Zero.
So real quick, I agree that they give you more description to the ins and outs of Boruto's ability.
Exactly.
But you said that Minato's was illogical.
Yeah, because
that doesn't make sense. What you're saying is
Jonathan, describe illogical.
But that doesn't make it illogical. Those are two different
Jonathan, what does illogical mean? No, Jonathan, what does illogical mean? What does the word illogical mean?
Illogical, c'est Minato fly washing god.
No, the word. What does the word illogical mean?
It's not logical.
What is that? What does logical mean? What does the word logic is? What is logic?
Logical is like you cannot explain. You cannot explain it. You have difficulty to see. It's
yes,
like
you can. Yes, you can. You can.
You took a philosophy class. You should be able to explain this easily.
Exactly. So explain to me, Minato fly washing god. Or you can tell me if you know Minato fly washing god. Tell me all Minato do to know he placed a mark to someone.
He can sense it. Chakra sensing. He can sense the mark is there.
No, but I can sense two different locations.
Chakra, no, it's the same thing as chakra sensors. That's just part of the ability. Like literally, he can. It's part of the ability. He can
the same thing, or he plays different marks. And if he
plays marks, it's like coordinations, basically. Most likely, it's like coordinations.
Coordination. Oh, you know his coordination. Oh, you can.
No, because he knows it's his jutsu. We can just infer it's his jutsu, so he knows where to teleport using chocolate.
It's easy to do. I can create a jutsu. I can.
He created the jutsu. He learned the jutsu. He didn't create the jutsu. He learned how to do the jutsu. And through the learning, he learned that if I throw the market this way, I'll know where it is. He'll know where it is. He'll know where it is himself.
Minato, fly watching god la. You can say that it's like a Shinjutsu. You can say that it's like
no, it's not. No, it's not like Shinjutsu.
No.
It's not like Shinjutsu.
Code can put any clock mark anywhere and can teleport to anywhere.
Yeah, but Minato can't do that. Minato has to physically throw it to them. He can go anywhere. Minato can't go anywhere. He can't throw a flying Raijin from Konoha all the way to like 10 miles away. He can't do that.
Yeah, but he has a mark. It's the same thing with Code.
Yeah, he has a mark. No, he has the mark, but he can't go anywhere. He can't go anywhere. He has to throw the mark a certain distance, right? And he has to throw it like miles and miles away. It's not the same thing. Code can go anywhere. Minato can't go anywhere. No, he can't.
Code can go anywhere. If he has a clock mark,
when he places the mark down. No, Code's ability is he can go anywhere. Minato's ability is when he throws something somewhere at a certain distance, he can't do it like everywhere at once. Obviously,
has to place or mark on something.
Yes, that's Shinjutsu. That's not Shinjutsu. It makes
it is. No, Mr. Sparling, the claw marks in Flying Raijin in this regard are basically the same. There are some obvious differences with the claw marks, like you can phase into it. You can. Well, I guess even that's kind of the phasing aspect's really the only difference.
I do agree. Teleportation.
It's the same thing. Code needs a clock mark. Just anything. A clock mark anywhere.
Yeah, he can go anywhere. Minato can't throw the flying Raijin anywhere. Minato can't do that. He has to freaking Like Minato cannot throw a flying Raijin from Konoha all the way to the Sand Village. It's not. You can't do that.
Like,
Yes,
He
There
can.
are-
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean he
Mark.
can't? He literally
Yeah.
flying Raishins from the Stone Village to like the Leaf
No.
Village in the
If he has,
flashback.
no. He has to have a mark there. That's the thing. The point. He has to have a mark there. Code can do it much faster. Right.
Mark on something and can teleport. That's why he was able to teleport
Yeah.
the
No,
entire dimension. Because
He can do that, but he has to place the mark somewhere. Code can just go anywhere he wants because of the.
No. Code has to play the. No, Mr. Sparling. Code has to place the marks. He specifically explains.
Yeah, but it's a better, more effective version. That's the thing. It's more effective.
Why is it? What's more effective? Like, okay, you could say it's slightly better, but like, what is more effective?
Jonathan, you just confused me for a second. Okay, you can. Okay, let's just get back. Okay, I got confused with what he said. Yeah, he has to place it anywhere. Why do you think it's illogical? Okay, wait, I'm really confused. You confused me a lot.
No, it's
But
just
why do you
the explanation of Minato is look too much like perfect. Like it's like it's jutsu.
Well, okay, but Jonathan,
perfect.
that would make it the most logical. If it's too perfect, it's as logical as it gets.
Yeah, but you cannot explain what is makes him logical. You cannot explain that.
Wait,
Yes.
Jonathan, are you saying that Minato wouldn't be able to differentiate different marks from each other? Is that what you're saying? Different like flying Raijins from each other? Is that what you're saying?
How can
Are you trying to say? No. Yeah, are you trying to say that? No. Answer my question. What?
Dude,
Okay, so
Jocko's trying to join.
Yo, at the end of the day, it's just story. Okay, Kishimoto can do anything.
He's backtracking now. He's conceding. Okay, no.
I don't know if they explain this, but this would make sense. I don't know if it's explained in the data book or anything, but it would just make sense if each flying Raijin seal has slightly different writing, and that's how he differentiates. That might be the case. I don't know though.
Okay, just because something is not explained doesn't mean it's illogical.
Just contrast about Itachi saying every jutsu has a weakness, but Minato is like
this mentioned. It's mentioned during the war arc. He specifically mentions, "I can feel my marks when they're placed down." That means he has sort of like the Byakugan, but only in specifically he can feel everywhere his marks are in like 3D. So basically,
every mark,
even if he didn't, that's still
has 1 million mark, he can feel the 1 million.
Mito's that smart. Yes, Mito's that smart. He's that good. Yes. Doesn't make it illogical. That doesn't make it illogical. It does not make it illogical, Jonathan. By the way, can I just ask where are you from? By the way, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Yeah, where are you from, by the way? Canada. Okay. Oh, so you're from the Quebec part.
No, but it's impossible. You can.
You're from Quebec.
That you can know all the.
The crazy Quebecs. That's what it is. Always the Quebec people that be crazy.
He only
have a reason. You don't have reason. You just say.
He doesn't have reason. I gave you my reason.
So, Jonathan, I can give you a compromise. What you could argue is that Minato's flying Raijin is ridiculous, but I wouldn't say illogical is the right word because that just, by definition, doesn't make sense. It is actually only logical, but you can say it's ridiculous that he's capable of doing the things he is.
Yes, but how is logical? If it's logical, why you cannot explain it? If it's logical,
we did
explain it. We did explain it.
We just did explain it. That's the logic behind it. There is logic.
I said, what's happened when he has multiple marks? I know how to differentiate.
Feel it.
It's
like it.
It's like a map. It is like a map.
And Kishozo didn't write anything or official statement about Minato.
He did. During the war arc, he mentions why he can feel a mark left on Obito. That's how he knew sort of who he was. It's like, oh, I feel one of my marks on his shoulder because I had placed a mark there.
So what is our weakness?
The weakness is that he needs to have a mark to teleport to one.
Same thing with Boruto, same thing with Code. What is
so again, real quick, Mr. Spiraling aside, I agree. They have the same weakness. The only difference is that Boruto just has a couple of extra weaknesses because his jutsu is less refined. That doesn't mean any of them are. I don't think any of the jutsu are illogical. I think they're all logical.
Just Boruto Raijin is more like developer. They explain more into it about the difficulties and how he tried to correct those mistakes and problems he had with FTG compared to Minato. Minato, we don't know.
Yes,
Of course,
and I
we
agree.
don't
It's
know.
more explained, but that's separate from logical versus illogical. You're just using the wrong word.
Can I say something? Just real quick.
Just because he can place seal on everybody. The seal is just, or he can make seal. Those he has infinite different seals, or
It's
I
by
mean, you can say the
chakra.
same thing. Okay, so
the
let me ask
same
you this,
seal.
Jonathan.
We don't know.
Are the claw marks illogical?
Yeah, but because we don't have an explanation logical about Minato.
No,
Explanation
no,
about
answer
how
my
he
question.
has.
Are the claw marks illogical?
The Clamas are Shinjutsu. They works. They
Wait,
are
Kamui,
God.
Kamui,